So you can create apps pretty easy with this as well. And I'm using the term app relatively loosely, right? I think that you played a little bit already with how you can have it draw things. So for example, if I say that I want to draw a point at mouse X and mouse Y, and I run this just like that. Oh, what did it do? Background. Let's move the background. So if you have the background in the draw loop, then it's going to draw the background every single or 30 times per second. You won't see the point, but now, right, so it can be like a brush, right? You can sort of create a little drawing app. Now there's different ways you can do this, right? Because you might be thinking like, oh, well, having all those gaps between your brush isn't that great, right? Well, that's just because I've done a point. You could instead use a line that maybe remembers where your mouse was a second ago or 1/30 of a second ago, and then where it is now, and draws a line between those points instead of just a point where it is. That's kind of how brushes would work in this. We could do things where we say like, let's see, maybe rectangle, and I want this rectangle to be at 0, 0 for the start, and I want it to be 20 by 20. All right, and here I'm going to say that maybe the fill is going to be red, so red would be FF0000. All right, so that's going to give me a rectangle. All right, now I can say that if mouse X is less than 20 and mouse, that might be a double and, might be double and. I'm trying to remember how it works in JavaScript. Mouse Y is less than 20. Right, and all of this needs to be in parentheses, and then we open our curly braces, and here's our conditional thing. Right, then here I might say that then the stroke is equal to FF0000, right? So essentially what I'm saying here is that if I move my mouse over this red square, the stroke that is used to color or to define the color of that point, because points have no fill, they're just a dot, and there's a stroke around it, is going to now be red. So now if I do this, oh, what did it not like? Mouse, oh, capitals, mouse X, mouse Y, variable names are case sensitive. Okay, so it started that way. Let's see. Okay, it might be checking the position before that, or there might be something else that's going on. Let me try without the ampersands with just one condition. Alright, maybe that is the issue. Okay, so now maybe what I want to do is I'm going to create another one of these, and this one is going to be green. So that means the middle two are F, middle two are F, and this is now going to be if it's less than 40. I'm actually going to move this one above the red one, and I'll mention that in a moment. To put this here, this here. I organize that very haphazardly. Let's see, where does this need to begin? X, Y. So I think that's right. Okay, so I think this should draw a green square and then a red square. Missing. Oh, I didn't close out this if statement. All right. Okay, we've got a green square and a red square. Okay, so green. Now it's green. Now it's red. Now it's green, right? It's really hard to see the green, but it's actually there. If I do stroke, is it stroke weight? Is that correct? Maybe like 5. Okay. Green, red, right? So now you get this idea, right? So I could create a little painting app. Now, it does look wonky what's going on here with these outlines because those strokes are also defining the outside of those. So I might need to actually instead, before I do all that, how do I want to do this? I might need to here say that stroke weight is going to be 0, right? So now when it draws the squares, there's no stroke, but it is hopefully going to draw a stroke wherever the mouse pointer is, and this is in the wrong order. This needs to be before the point. The arrangement of your lines of code can be really important when you start doing stuff like this. So I've got a brush, now it's green, now it's red, right? So I could make a little painting app using something like this, right? So you can make apps this way. The reason why I put the red after the green is because it's going to see this and it's going to make the brush green if it's less than 40. Then it's going to check and see if it's less than 20, then it's going to remake it as red. I could say, like, instead of checking if it's less than 40, check if it's less than 40 but greater than 20. I could have done that, but that would have taken a little bit longer, so I didn't. So then the order of these becomes very important. So you could create apps with this rather easily, a little painting app.